what happened with Josef Newgarden's car? Like, if you could just, I guess, explain what the penalty was for and what the penalty is to start.
So the short version of a very long story is there are parts on the car that are supplied by IndyCar that are what we call spec. They are to a specification. They're the same for everyone, and you cannot alter them. And on two of the Penske cars, they had made alterations. So it's a black and white rule, regardless of what the intention was behind it. It's pretty clear cut. So those two cars were excluded from the qualifying, basically, and they go from their potential qualifying spots up in the top 12 to starting last and second last in the race.
So does the punishment fit the crime?
That's a nuanced answer. um, them getting tossed out of qualifying, yes, absolutely. The tricky part is that Indy's got a very unique qualifying format in that there are 2 days, and they passed tech and were cleared after that first day, which essentially locked them into a top 12 starting spot. So my personal opinion, the way that I read the rules, I think it's more on IndyCar for not catching it the first day. And once they made the results official on Saturday, it kind of is what it is. They found it on Sunday, which meant that they shouldn't have been able to start higher than 11th and 12th. But in my opinion, they should have been able to start 11th and 12th. They decided to go hard on them for a bunch of different reasons, and they're now starting at the back.
Does the modification that was made, does it create an advantage? Like, do you see it as a big deal?
I do not see it as a big deal. No. Does it create an advantage? It was done with the intent to create an advantage. It was the kind of thing that in isolation would make almost no difference. It would be almost imperceptible. But what IndyCar teams do at the Speedway is if you get 10 things that are just a fraction, well, okay, then maybe you have something worth doing there. And I think it was a very small part of a much bigger process of trying to make that car fast at the Speedway, and don't think on its own would have much effect on performance. But that's not the point. The
Yeah.
point is you can't change it, and it was changed. So they absolutely should have been penalized.
And were the same modifications made to Newgarden's car last year at the Indy 500, and it just wasn't caught?
I have not looked at old photos from last year, but there are reasons to believe there is speculation out there that that part had also been altered last year, um, and that there's a chance it had been altered for a while, as Penske claimed that they didn't realize this was an issue, and it was kind of part of their normal process for fitting that part to the car. So there's a chance, but it wasn't caught. The race is official. It is what it is.
So if they were able to confirm that the part was altered, like, does that change anything with what happened last year? Like, do they vacate the win or add an asterisk or anything? Should anything like that be done?
Officially, no. In the court of public opinion, people are going to have their say,
Yeah.
and that's the hard part for Joseph and for the team. Because, like I said, do I if it was on the car last year, do I think it played a part in him winning that race? I do not. I think more of the issue is with IndyCar for not finding it in their tech inspection. But again, these are very complicated machines. There's a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of rules to try to follow. It is a tough situation. I kind of understand it from all sides, but um, I don't personally think it makes a big difference. And what's done is done. The race is official. If you weren't caught then, it sounds bad to say, but in racing, everybody pushes the limits on the rules.
Yeah.
And if you don't get caught, that's kind of one of the risks that people take.
How was this found after the inspection?
My understanding is it was one of the team members from a rival team spotted it when Will Power's car was sitting in the qualifying line ready to go out.
So somebody else, another team saw it and then reported it.
Yes, IndyCar claimed that they had noted it through tech inspection, but
Oh,
it was
okay.
something that they were going to revisit in post qualifying tech when they had more time.